Hello everyone and welcome to the latest in my constructed video series. This is Brian Kibler with StarCityGames.com, and today with Magic Origins on the horizon, I thought it made the most sense to do a video of Modern. Obviously new cards from new sets can impact Modern, we've certainly seen that. Particularly recently, cards like Kolaghan's Command, Gurmag Angler, a lot of things have shaken the format up. But typically it's a format that is at least somewhat more stable compared to Standard. Testing Standard on Magic Online without Magic Origins in the mix really wouldn't make much sense right now, given that the format is going to be changed quite significantly when the new set releases. So in order to get some action in, I'm going to be playing Modern. And I'm shaking things up a little bit here with the deck that I've chosen. I've mostly been playing various collected company style decks for a while in Modern. That was a card that I've experimented with a ton in a variety of different builds, but I kind of wanted to go back to the deck that I played at the Pro Tour in Washington, D.C., the Whitley Fleege deck with which Jacob Wilson managed to post a top 8 finish. And in part because it feels like the cards Loxodon Smiter and Lingering Souls may be quite strong in the current environment. Decks like the Grixis decks that are pretty popular, I think, feel like a place where these cards match up well. Similarly, Voice of Resurgence I think is quite a strong card. And it's possible that this is not necessarily the best shell for all of those with respect to the rest of the format around it, but it was something that I wanted to give a try. I do think this deck is probably fairly vulnerable to the big mana decks, Amulet of Vigor or Urzatron, because you don't necessarily have great ways to interact with them what they do. At the same time, though, you actually have some amount of discard with Thoughtseize, and then just big creatures that can be difficult for them to necessarily be able to always deal with in time. This is a deck that actually can kill quite quickly for mid-range style deck because of the pump effect of Whitley Fleege as well as the life drain of Siege Rhino. So not too much all that different from the last version I played. I'm playing a couple of Relic of Progenitus in the sideboard because I think that they seem quite strong with the number of Snapcaster Mage decks that are out there. This deck doesn't really use its own graveyard. I could theoretically play something like Rest in Peace, but that does stop my own Lingering Souls flashback as well as Persist on Kitchen Finks. And then a mix of Stony Silence, Pride Mage against decks like Affinity or as well as a Fraction Gust, Affinity or Boggles. You have a bunch of removal. Stony Silence also comes in particularly handy against Tron and the amount of artifacts that they do tend to have. And you just have a lot of big threats that again can help close those games out quickly when you do manage to disrupt them significantly. Feed the Clan and Sorin are a bit of extra life gain. This deck actually matches up naturally quite well against Burn in my experience. Burn was one of the reasons that I played this deck at the Pro Tour, because I thought Burn was going to be popular. It turned out that it was, and my record against Burn at the Pro Tour and in subsequent Grand Prix was quite good. So gonna be trying this out, seeing how it works. Again, not really a deck that I've played a ton right now in the current metagame, but I want to experiment with it and see if it perhaps does have a place as things are sort of shaping up with the new metagame. So anyway, let's jump into some games and see how it goes.